It's day 2 of the NFL free agency and also day 2 of quarantine. I haven't lost my mind yet. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Grossi. Yum. And today we are going to be breaking down day 2 in free agency, all the craziness that's been going on. I also want to do a little bit of a recap of some of the day 1 excerpts that I didn't get to yesterday. And I'm sure more news will break, and then I'll have to go do another video, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So let's start off with some of the news that I missed over from yesterday. So 2 former Packers getting paid, in which you had Randall Cobb signing a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Houston Texans, $18 million guaranteed. What the hell are you doing, Texans? Listen, Cobby, I love you. I love Randall Cobb. You go and get your money. You go and get that cheddar. But from the Texans standpoint, you trade DeAndre Hopkins away and you sign Randall Cobb to 3 years? That would have been great like 4 years ago. What are you doing? I mean, oh my God, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Listen, there's a running joke on this channel every single time that I stream where people are like, who don't obviously watch, which is the majority of people, and they're like, oh, Tom, what are you a fan of? Surrounded by Packers gear. And I always said my go-to was, oh, I'm a Texans fan. I'm going to have to take that away. I can't even joke about being a Texans fan right now because then someone's going to call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline on me and be like, there's a man in desperate need of trouble. He is crying out for help. That's what it's like to be a Texans fan right now. Toaster baths. It's just toaster baths for miles, and that's it. So, I mean, again, really happy for Randall Cobb. Go and get your money, buddy. But, oh, mackerel. I mean, listen, Deshaun Watson will be happy to throw to him. But, I don't know what Bill O'Brien is doing. But then again, I don't think he knows what he's doing either. And then, of course, you had inside linebacker Blake Martinez setting off to greener pastures, said no one ever, because he's going to the Giants. 3 years, $30 million. And again, that was going to be way beyond what the Packers were willing to pay for him. And Giants fans, in case you are wondering, yes, there are better teams to root for, but more importantly, what kind of guy that you got for Blake Martinez. Amazing guy for the community. Love him off the field. Did a lot for the Green Bay Packers. And it is a tackling machine. The problem is a lot of those tackles are like downfield and not before the line of scrimmage, and just don't ask him to go into pass coverage. But he has the greatest Twitch name ever, so I'll miss you, Blake Martinez, just for that. Then breaking down some of the other news that we saw today, the Panthers picking up Teddy Bridgewater, signing him for a 3-year deal worth $60 million. And I have to say, I am absolutely thrilled for Teddy Bridgewater. I'm a huge Teddy Bridgewater fan. Obviously, the catastrophic injury that he suffered while he played for the Purple Incarnations of Satan. Then, thankfully, he was released from that hell. And look at that. He prospered. And so heading on over to play with Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator. He played with him when he was in New Orleans. I think that this is a great pickup, and I wish him nothing but the best, and I hope they do really, really well there. Which brings me to my next point about Cam Newton. So Cam Newton looks like he is going to be out. The Panthers coming out today and saying that they were allowing Newton to go and field some trade requests, and then Cam Newton fired back in really weird grammar and was just like, no, you don't make this seem like it was me, it was you. But I said it a lot nicer than he did because there was a lot of weird symbols in it. I don't know if it's the Illuminati or what have you. So yeah, Cam Newton's being shopped around. Obviously back in a few months ago, they were talking about potentially heading on over to the Bears, but where's he going to go? The Bears, the Patriots, the Buccaneers, the Chargers, wherever Tom Brady doesn't end up. I thought that they were going to wind up keeping Newton for at least another year because, I mean, it's a contract year. Just keep him, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But everything is indicating that Teddy Bridgewater is coming in to be the new starting quarterback. So we will we will see about that. Also, the Chicago Bears, after making a mockery of themselves last night, signing Jimmy Graham, they made a really good signing, and they signed Robert Quinn, the defensive end, for 5 years, $70 million, 30 of which is guaranteed. Just on the Cowboys in 2019, 11.5 sacks, 34 tackles, 3 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles in 14 games. He was the third best in pressures last year. And right now he's 29 years old, started off with the Rams, then went to Miami for a spell, and then went over to Dallas for a 1-year deal. And boy, oh boy, did he make the most of it. So he is getting paid. And with that, they are going to be cutting former first-rounder Leonard Floyd. In 2016, he was the first-round pick who just hasn't been consistent enough. And this is going to make that Bears defense even scarier. The Bears defense wasn't really the weak point last year. It was that offense. What have they done to help the offense? Absolutely nothing. But, we'll see if Mitch Trubisky will have thrown his last ball as a Chicago Bear. We shall see. But right now, that defense is getting even better. Then, in depressing-ass news, the Raiders wound up getting Cory Littleton. I'm so upset. 3 years, $36 million. We could have afforded it, damn it. But again, we probably would have had to make some cuts or restructuring. And I was obviously a pipe dream to get Cory Littleton, but I really would have liked him. And so instead, he's going over to the frickin' frackin' Raiders. They don't even need him. They're not going to appreciate him like we would have, but he probably wanted to play somewhere that wasn't cold. Then, obviously, Phillip Rivers heading on over to the Colts for a 1-year, $25 million gig. And I would not be surprised if the Colts are also still going to draft a QB to potentially, have Rivers mentor him until they can give the reins over to the new guy. Brian Bulaga heading over to the Chargers, 3 years, $30 million, about where I was expecting it to. We were talking about this with Ken Engels, talking about $10 million per year. He was going to be super duper expensive. You even have Witten going over to the Raiders, the Cowboys tight end, because they were like, please God, don't step back into a commentary booth. And Joe Schobert heading over to Jacksonville for a 5-year, $53.75 million deal as well. And so Schobert, the other guy that we've talked about on this channel about potentially coming over to the Packers, is getting paid big old money to head on over to the Jaguars. Also in other news real quick, Kyler Fackrell, the former Packer, signing a 1-year, $4.6 million deal with the Giants. So the Giants just taking all our linebackers, trying to make their defense better. It won't, but it's nice for you to try. And so, this has been a crazy second day. Obviously, the Tom Brady news coming out earlier today. We're kind of just waiting and seeing. There's rumors that he's going to be going to Tampa Bay, and they'll announce it tomorrow. If that happens, we will definitely be talking about it here. But out of all of these deals, which one were the most surprising for you? Or if your team did anything, are you happy with the choices that they made? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com. We're at Tom Grossi Comedy on all social media. See down below. Check out Packast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the Patreon members or at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom freaking Frackin' Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.